What's good, y'all? It's Sean P, the Bluff guy. Hey, we back again with another reaction stream, and today, I kind of wanted to get an idea of like what everybody, like a lot of other content creators, like their opinion on the recent chapter, right? After everything we've seen that happen, I wanted to get someone else's opinion. So today we will be reacting to YouTube content creator Randy Troy, and the title of this video is "What if CP0 are slaves? Luffy gets captured. One Piece 1042 analysts in theory." So, but before we get into the video, make sure y'all show your boy some love and hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know when I go live. And follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on my Facebook page, so you also are updated on upcoming things. Upcoming things. And as well, if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord as well as the One Piece Facebook group. All of these will be linked in the description, as well as the video we are reacting to today from Randy Troy. Yes, so y'all make sure y'all go to his channel and give him some love. Appreciate, show him y'all appreciate the work he's done. We got Angels Room 659. He say, "Yo, what's good, Angels Room 659?" I might just call you Angel just to shorten it up, if that's cool with you. But hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. But yeah, so based off the title of this video, I don't want to set it up too long, because this is going to be a bit of a lengthy video. It's not too long. It's like what, 20, almost 30 minutes. So based on this video and the title of the video, from what I've seen, this is pretty much setting up for maybe some type of capture of Luffy. Now that what we've seen from the recent chapter, Kaido pretty much defeating Luffy, or connecting with a devastating Thunder Bagua. We know that Luffy was already kind of on his last legs, right? Like, Luffy pretty much said if he failed, if his next attack failed, then he loses, right? He loses. And his attack failed. It's because, part of it is because of that CP0 member, but I also think a little bit is like, I think it's also because Kaido wasn't going to be, I don't believe Kaido was going to be put down from Luffy's next attack, right? Even if Luffy did connect, I don't think Kaido was going to go down. Kaido seemed like he had a lot in the tank. So I think Luffy was going to be defeated regardless. But the guy did, the CP0 agent did involve himself, which distracted Luffy and caused him to pretty much get defeated without even attempting his attack, right? And yeah. So now I guess the question is, what's next, right? What's next for Kaido? What's next for the CP0 agent who pretty much interfered in this fight that Kaido was having fun in? What's next for Luffy, right? So based on the video, I guess Randy's theory is Luffy will get captured, and it may turn into a rescue mission, right? So Kaido will indeed succeed, and Luffy will be captured. And he also talks, another part of the title that I think we're going to talk, that Randy is going to talk about in his video, is the fact that CP0 could be slaves. Like, they could be slaves of the world nobles, right? Which makes sense. They do follow them, but I don't think they're necessarily slaves personally, because I think anybody could be a potential slave. So even, like any, like they could make a Kaido a slave if they wanted to. So CP0, I think, aren't like slaves. They're not like your traditional slaves, at least. Let me read these chats. I'm seeing y'all coming in. We got Q with the black bear laugh, the Z ha. I can't do it today, man. My voice ain't up to 100% right now. But that Z ha ha ha. And he said, "Hello, Bluff. What's good, Cube? What's good? Welcome to the chat. Shout out to Cube. Shout out to Angel." Then we got Shane Burns. He says, "On my way home. Hey, now I can listen on my way home." Hey, man, you could listen. You don't have to, see. Even though it is kind of nice to see what's going on screen, you could still hear what's going on, right? It's mostly going to be me talking and Randy talking, right? And Cube says CP0 agent will need to first get his arrangements in order. His funeral for the funeral, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think Kaido might take him, but according to the theory that we might watch, Luffy is going to get captured somehow. Now, I don't think it didn't necessarily say from the world government. It could be Kaido again, right? But I think it would be kind of redundant for Kaido to capture Luffy again. So, yeah. So I think somehow the world government is going to capture Luffy. So maybe this agent might get out alive. He might get away from avoiding Kaido's wrath alive with Luffy, right? But, Angel said, I agree. I also don't think he would have won either way. Yeah. I don't, because Kaido just seems like he could still go, right? Like Kaido still seemed like he's good, Luffy was the one talking about, like, look, man, I gotta beat him with this last attack or I'm done. Kaido don't seem like he was gonna be beaten. And then Cube said, hope he prepared his will in advance. Yeah, man. Hey, that's if they got wills in One Piece, But him being the agent, he probably might have something in place, right? I would think. Him working for the world government, I would think. But anyway, let's get into this video. I don't want to stall too long. Where is... Bam. So the link to this video will be in the description box. So y'all make sure y'all go to Randy Troy's channel and show him some love. But let's get into it.
You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
Snap! The organizers of the failed Fire Festival are feeling the heat.
Hold on, I just caught that the organizers the organizers of the failed Fire Festival.
Failed Fire Festival are feeling the heat.
What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be.
I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta rewind it because I gotta hear it again. That was funny.
Snap! The organizers of the failed Fire Festival are feeling the heat.
Bro, that sounds just like a sports center report or whatever. Let me read this chat. It said, my question is Kaido a match? Is Kaido a match for Zunisha? I think so. Cause if you recall, Jack was about to kind of. Well, I don't know if Jack would have taken down Zunisha, but I do think Zunisha was feeling those attacks from Jack, like those that assault that Jack and his crew was doing. It might have took him down, honestly. So if Jack could almost take down Zunisha, I think Kaido could. And said a random thought that came to my mind. I think Kaido could. I think he could. Hit him with a few blast breaths, right? Angel said, "Q, what do you mean by match for Zunisha?" I think he means could like Kaido take on Zunisha? Like, would he fight? Like, could he keep up with Zunisha, or perhaps even defeat Zunisha? I think that's what he's saying. But I'll let Cube speak for himself. But let's continue. I just start. We only 10 seconds into the video.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? You gotta be kidding me! Oh my God! He could have been RKO in midair! An RKO in midair!
That's loud. Conviction.
And we're back.
Why you have that sinister ass look? Oh man, that's funny, man. We just started this video and he man, I can't, man. I can't with him right now, man. I can't with him. The stream is canceled. I can't with him right now. No, let me stop. Let's continue.
One Piece. 1042 is out. Man, what a chapter. All right, that's the best RKO I've ever seen. All right, you want to talk about out of nowhere. Dripper Scarfino, right? That's my goat. Okay, and can I just say,
Randy got like such a he has like some good dry humor to him. Like his humor kind of dry, but it's good though. Like, oh man. Cube said, I mean, last 2 chapters, Zunisha asked Momonosuke that he came to fight for him. Fight that he came to fight. And he says Zunisha told Momonosuke, I guess. I think he just I guess he's there to fight. You know, he's there to do something. I guess that's why he's there, right? Like he's there to do whatever Momonosuke needs of him. That's even if that's for him to fight Kaido. But my question would be is how's he gonna get in Wano, right? Because he's big, but I know Wano's pretty high, right? So I don't know if Zunisha is bigger than the waterfalls of Wano. So I don't know how he would even if he could step over the border of Wano, right? Like, I don't know if he's tall enough to step over the border of Wano. Because I mean, Zunisha is big though, so I mean, hey, maybe I could be tripping. I don't really know how to compare Zunisha's size to Wano though. So if somebody knows the comparison, you let me know in the chat. But I couldn't say. Let's continue.
that I love the community's reception to the name Dripper Scarfino. We've been calling him that for a few months now, but I mean, like, seeing it in the chat in this, hearing from
Dripper
other
Scarfino.
One Piece YouTubers talking about how the name was in their chat, the tweet of me calling him Dripper blew up.
Dripper Scarfino.
That's his name. So Oda, I know you're watching. You got to go with the community here.
All right.
We are going to talk about 1042. All right. So, you know.
Hey, that's what we're going to call him, man. We're going to call him Dripper Scarfino. You know. So that's what we're going to call the CP0 agents. All right. So anytime we talk about him, y'all say, y'all gotta remind me it's Dripper Scarfino. Anybody in the chat that, you know, talk about him, y'all make sure they know that it's Dripper Scarfino. I mean, Dumbo can fly, LOL. I mean, maybe he can, bro. Maybe he can. Well, One Piece, you never know. The Angel's Room said, I feel like he will easily be defeated by Kaido for some reason, but it may take a while. Cube says CP0. Yeah, the CP0 agent. I think it would be, I know what you're talking about. I think, bro, like, the thing is, like, size isn't necessarily everything when it comes to fighting in One Piece, right? Like, we've seen huge characters get beat by much smaller characters, so I think Kaido would win. But yeah, Dripper Scarfino, that's what we calling him.
Spoilers abound if you don't read the manga, right? But at the same time, I'm going to use this video more as like a backdoor theory video, because I'm not going to spend too much time on Luffy and Kaido fighting. It's great. They fought.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Kaido used Future Sight. He was matching Luffy's movements, his speed feats. You know, he was giving us more Drunken Master style stuff. Shout out to Jackie Chan.
Congratulations, Jackie Chan, for 100 years of entertainment.
Congratulations, 100 years in the business, Jackie Chan. Peace.
But I really do want to like kind of clock in on this CP0 stuff as I normally do, because I am like
He made a good point though. Like talking about this, like chapters, like when it comes to my chapter discussions I do on Sundays, the chapters where it's just mostly action, those are the chapters that are usually hard to have a lengthy discussion about, right? Because like fights, punches and stuff is just it is what it is. You know, it's there's no plot to really discuss, right? So those chapters you tend to be hard. Like this chapter, in many ways, was kind of hard to discuss yesterday, because it's like, what do I talk about? Do I just talk about like everything they did in the fight? You know, which I mean, I guess you could talk about that definitely, but it's always to have something that you could to connect it with the rest of the story and not just that specific fight. You know.
so intrigued by CP0 and everything. Obviously, it all sort of ties into the sword theory. But what I want to get into today is two things. The tragedy of CP0, because there are some implications here that we're going to get into. And also a video I've been meaning to shoot for a while now. And we've talked about it on stream. But I'm basically going to get into, what if Luffy got captured? Okay? So that's what we're getting into today. So buckle in.
What if Luffy gets captured? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. See, I wouldn't be mad at it, because at the end of the day, I've been championing the idea of Kaido perhaps winning, in Wano, right? Like winning at the end of Wano, and being defeated later, like being defeated in the war, right? The major war that the world's going to have, like him being defeated then, but even not necessarily, like, yes, he could be defeated in Wano in a symbolic way, which like maybe he leaves Wano, on his own volition to go start said war, like that being kind of a defeat, because the ultimate goal is to get Kaido out of Wano, right? That's the ultimate goal of Luffy wanting to fight Kaido. He wants to defeat Kaido, because Kaido's also in his way to becoming Pirate King, but ultimately he wants to liberate Wano. And if Kaido leaves, then Wano could, in a sense, be liberated, right? So yeah. And maybe Kaido leaves because it's just like, his plan fails, right? Like he don't necessarily get defeated, but his plan fails. That's why Kaido could leave, But yeah. Angel said, I wonder what would happen if Zanisha blew it trunk. If blew if he blew whatever, like some blast out of his trunk. I don't know. Probably has a good amount of force to do some damage, I would think. Shane Burns, welcome to the chat, Shane. Or was you here earlier? Yeah, you was. My bad. But anyway, I thought you just came in. My bad. Said Randy a cool ass YouTuber. Yeah, I like Randy, man. He got like a calm funniness about him, right? Like it's kind of dry, but it's like he's funny though. Cube said might a powerful coup event, right? Like could be, and that might be what could potentially make Zunisha Pluton, right? Maybe if he blows out his trunks, he could destroy land, like countries, islands, And there again, we've covered theories about Zunisha possibly being Pluton, right? And Zunisha could like destroy countries by stepping on it, or maybe uses his trunk, right? Maybe like Black got like some coupe de burst type move. Who knows?
We got him, Scooby! Nice catch, guys. Now to unmask this phony hide.
And if our calculations are right, it should be Helga, the housemaid.
Forget the raid. I've set myself up for failure.
Mr. Morge.
People are saying that the raid is surely to fail now. They're quick to give Mr. Morge his W's. And while it's not necessarily looking good for the raid, and here, I want some sort of a tragedy. I want the drama that comes from it.
Yeah.
To conclusions here.
Bro, like, that's why I rock with Randy, bro. Like, look, I want Kaido to win because it changes things. Like, I know I talk about this a lot. I know a lot of people, why you want Kaido? He's not going to win. Bro, like, if Oda did something like that, if, like, Kaido ultimately wins, bro, that just changes the whole game. So, it's almost the equivalent of Kuma beating, like, pretty much doing what he did that made the time skip, right? When Kizaru was pretty much about to kill the Straw Hats and Kuma pretty much saved the Straw Hats, right? Like, that situation, that would be almost equivalent to Kaido winning at the end, right? It's like another major defeat, tragic defeat for the Straw Hats, right? And it really drives home how tough these Yonko are. Like, if you going to fight a Yonko, especially at like Supernova's like their level, you at least have to have at least one person with you, but you ain't beating them one-on-one until you rise to that occasion. And it would be, I just want to see Khan Luffy be defeated by a Yonko ultimately, right? Not just like in the same arc, like a small defeat, but like ultimately in the arc, he gets defeated by a Yonko, and it presses how strong these Yonko are, and it pushes Luffy to, like, it makes Luffy realize where he stands in his measure. But he's there though. Like, he's there. He's he's been fighting Kaido for a while now and been holding his own. So he's there at this point. So Luffy could still come back and win. And Oda has been making Luffy progressively get stronger throughout this arc. So let's continue.
The Dripper is, Morge in disguise. Going full Scooby-Doo. Let's pull the mask off. Now, what you see here is that my guy, Mr. Morge, got so impatient that he decided to defy dimensional space-time logic and jump into the pages of One Piece himself. It's also very possible that in 1043, Oda reveals this man's name is actually Ripper Scarfino. All right, R.I.P. Okay, this man really pulled a Kurozumi Higurashi and jumped into Kaido's fight. This man looks shook. His whole world is crumbled. Finally, he got a good battle. Tekai. Can't wait to see this animated, right? I want them to drown the audio out. I just want to hear him say Tekai with like nothing else. No other sound. This is peak right here. We've been calling him Dripper for quite some time. I think that it's high time we actually do get an Oda box. I'm probably still going to call him Dripper Scarfino, but I think we're going to actually learn.
Dripper Scarfino right there.
Where do we go from here?
I like Scarfino.
Kaido is banging down on Luffy. It's already been established that the Skull Dome is going to break. I think that this is possibly the hit that we will see. The beginning of the next chapter will be Kaido hitting Luffy down. Skull Dome will break. We'll see Law and Kid reacting to Luffy falling down, right? Now, this is a prime opportunity for Dripper to come in here using Geppo and take Luffy out of here. Kaido will be shook. Maybe he doesn't know, what's going on, everything like that. And if Kaido doesn't have enough time to murder Dripper right? Which, by the transitive property of getting in the way of Kaido's fights, that's the end result of the mathematic equation. You get in the middle, you die.
You die.
Okay? And then somebody else gets your fruit. All right? Like Bon Clay. I want to get into the specifics of the tragedy of CP0, and this ties into past scenes that we've had with CP0, and it also ties into the very beginning scene of 1042. All right? Dripper and Drake and their conversation. Drake gets a good hit in before he gets, shigoned in the throat. Still need my boy Drake to, get his hotline bling on and make a phone call to his sword overlords, which I still am saying Garp is the leader of sword, okay? I want a conversation between Drake and Garp. I need it, all right? If Dripper, falls through with Luffy down below, right, to where Law and Kid are, that could also feed some other sword things there. Maybe. Let's throw this on, right?
Yeah, he has a video about Law. I think Law being part of the sword as well.
Imagine this is on for the entire video because this is all tinfoil time today, guys. But now let's get into some real specifics and what I actually think is the most likely thing out of this chapter, right? Is your justice right? Is my justice right? Is their justice right? Yeah. I mean, the main thing is that the world government's justice is definitely wrong, right? So that is why I've always felt that Sword has to be in opposition to the world government's justice. And Garp being the most outspoken person against the world government's justice just makes sense to me. So now here, with Drake exclaiming that his justice allows him to be this free and attack Dripper, right? And then you get this response from Dripper where he says, "I envy you," implies that this man is afraid of whoever his bosses are. The Celestial Dragons, the Gorosei, Emu. This man physically cannot oppose them. When everybody was calling Dripper a fraud last week, right? Saying this man isn't going to go up to the roof. Everybody saying that is looking pretty crazy, right? They're definitely holding an L for that because this man did go up there because he cannot not do that. He has to. He was scared, sure, getting involved with that, but he physically cannot disobey the people that he takes orders from, all right? And that sort of brings up this, weird, interesting question of, is Dripper a slave? Or is being a member of CP0 tantamount to being a slave, right?
And I kind of realized that's where he was going. I think his second explanation, like the being a CP0 is pretty much almost the equivalent of being a slave. I think it's more that than him actually being a slave. Cause you gotta understand how the Terra, like the Terra Debito or the Celestial Dragons, right? How they operate, right? Like they can pretty much make anybody a slave. So it's like when you're around them, you pretty much have to do what they say. Like let's say if you own a store and they come into your store and they say, "Hey, I'm taking this bag or something," you can't say no. What? Like you say no, then they just make you a slave. So like they have the authority to pretty much make you a slave, just like that, right? Just with little effort, they could just be like, you belong to me now. So pretty much, if you're the how I would see it is, if you're the CP0 agents, right, you have to listen to them because just at a pretty much on a whim, they could change your fate and make you a slave or just make you be executed. Just off of a whim, right? And people have to do it. Somebody has to do it, So that's pretty much, as a CP0 agent, you still can be you could be turned into a slave at will, or anything else that they want to do to you. but you might have a little more reign than most people because you're one of their dogs, right? So you're still their dog. You're still their like their lap dog or something, but you get treated a little better than most people. But you know, like they're slaves, they're other slaves, but it is still kind of the equivalent of being a slave. You know, anytime, but that's anybody though. That's anybody that's not a celestial dragon. Let me read these. Cube said, "What if that blow from the trunk can be the thing to open the border?" Yes, I was actually thinking that. Either him blowing the trunk or him actually just kind of knocking it with his trunk. Like I think the border, the Wano's border is going to be like, he's going to be, I think Zunisha is going to be using his trunk pretty much for something. How he uses his trunk, I don't know. But I think however he does away with the border, he's going to be using his trunk. Angel's Room said that'd be cool. Q said, I hope it's Spandam so we can die. So he can die. Oh, you mean that CP0 agent. I don't know. I don't think Spandam's like a fighter like that. So I don't think Spandam will have any of this agent skill. Like, I don't think he's strong enough to be a CP5 agent. Like, you know, he might not even be able to be, I mean, anything over CP9, I don't think he is capable of actually being a field agent, right? He's only good as like a supervisor in a supervisor position.
Directly under the Celestial Dragons, bodyguards to the Celestial Dragons. What if anybody that is actually strong, that is locked up for anything military-wise, just gets indentured into the CP0 program, right? We're not going to lock you up. In return, you have to protect the Celestial Dragons.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you don't, you're dead. What if Dripper's mask...
I can see that because that is exactly what happened with Rob Lucci, right? Like, he was a CP9 agent, so he wasn't, you know, necessarily a criminal. But after CP9 lost the fight against the Straw Hats, they were Spandam. You know, now that Cube even brought up Spandam, it's weird that you brought up Spandam. But Spandam pretty much shifted all the blame to the CP9 agents, right? I don't know if he blamed them for the Buster call, or he just, I don't know if they were punished for the Buster call or if they were punished just for losing in general. But there's a cover story. If you don't know, just search it, the CP9 cover story, right? It talks about after Ennis Lobby, what happened to him. Spandam pretty much put a bounty on him, right? They became criminals and they were on the run. Lucci was injured for a while, so they were pretty much taking care of Rob Lucci, and then eventually somehow he's a CP0 agent. We didn't really get any. I don't think the cover story talks about how he became a CP0 agent, but later we learned that he became a CP0 agent. So the world government was able, despite Rob Lucci being a criminal at this point, being branded a criminal, he still became a CP0 agent. So there might actually be some credence to this idea that criminals become CP0 agents. Cube says Buster call since it failed. Thank you. Thanks for correcting me. I knew it was some. I thought it was related to the Buster call though. So, but yeah,
is like one of those collars or something. Or what if he has a collar on him? And if he disobeys the order, they're just going to blow his head off. It's like the Suicide Squad, and Emu is Amanda Waller. You know, that's... Hey, I mean, like, the implication here. I envy you. I would love to have my own justice.
I would say the Gorosei is like Amanda Waller Amanda Waller, because I would think Amanda Waller probably got somebody she answers to. You know what I'm saying? So whoever she answers to, that's Eam. You know.
This is basically what he's implying here. I would love to have my own agency. I would love to be able to disobey this order, but I cannot do that. So he goes up to the roof and he waits in the tall grass, sneaking, waiting for his moment to strike, and then he throws his Pokeball and catches Luffy, right? Tekai. Now he's involved in this fight. Not because he wants to, but because he is being forced to. Now, this also makes sense when you go back to the initial interactions with CP0 in Onigashima. Not necessarily Wano, but here in Onigashima, we learn that their true purpose is that they're there to kill Who's Who, right? Because he is someone that got away. All right? He's someone that slipped out of Amanda Waller's clutches. He left the Suicide Squad program after he failed the world government in protecting the Gomu Gomu no Mi. They threw him in a cell where he learned about the sun god Nika. He was able to get out, and boom. Somehow he got the bomb out of his neck, he got the collars off, whatever, and he shacked up with Kaido for protection. Like a mafia, you can't get out. Once you're in, you're in. Alright? So that's sort of the implications here. There is something deeper, there is something darker. And there was an interesting thing that was brought up.
You know what that kind of makes me think now? Like a thought that really just kind of came into my head. Like, I think that what makes me think, like, I don't think that the CP0 agents have a collar, right? They don't have a collar. Like, and I don't think they're slaves. I think that they keep each other in check, right? Like if one go rogue, they keep each other in check, and if they fail, I think there is another fail safe that's even higher than the CP0 agent, the other CP0 agents that maybe not. I ain't gonna say we've been sleeping on, because I think there is a lot of people that believe this, but maybe the ace in the hole is the Gorosei, right? Maybe the Gorosei is that deterrent. Like, because I know there's a lot of theories out there that the Gorosei are strong. So I think maybe what he's afraid of is having to deal with the Gorosei's wrath for failing. You know, because I think the Gorosei may keep CP0 in line. You know, like, because the Gorosei could probably be like the strongest. They could probably be like Yako level each. You know, like they could all be around Kaidos. You know, Kaidos and Whitebeards and whoever. You know, the Gorosei could be just as strong as them, possibly even stronger. So I think he might fear the Gorosei. You know, because we don't see no collars on the CP0. Maybe they got some chips in their head. I don't know. But I think it's one of those things where if a CP0 agent go rogue, the Gorosei might even handle it, right? Like Eam himself might be like, go deal with that CP0 agent, you know. Or maybe the other CP0 agents may deal with them, and if they can't deal with them, that's when the monsters of the world government come out, and that's the Gorosei, right? Cube said, I think they are conditioned. That could be it too. That could definitely be it, you know, because they're pretty much programmed into it. But, you know, he seemed like he was fearing something that's beyond just conditioning, right? So he was actually afraid to, you know, because look, think about it. It's like he knew that if he put himself into the situation, he could potentially like get killed by like Kaido himself, possibly. But for some reason, there's something that he fears more than being killed by Kaido. And I'm not saying like condition doesn't have anything to do with it, but what I'm saying is you know, it could be the Gorosei, it could be Imu himself, but that's if the CP0 agents are aware of Imu, because I personally would think that the only people that know that Imu exists are the Gorosei. Maybe a select few of bodyguards, right? Like the throne room bodyguards who might always be in the throne room, right? So like they may know, you know, like they may have a few of those guys that you know, like throne room security, and they may know about Im and the Gorosei. Anybody else may not know about him. So I would think it might be the Gorosei that, you know, might, you know, they might have some special abilities. I don't know, you know, where they could like turn you to, like, give you like a eternal torture. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe immediate death is less scary than what the Gorosei could put you through. So, but I would say the Gorosei probably might be that deterrent. Angel said maybe Imu or one of the Gorosei have a contract devil fruit. I mean that's interesting. You know, that kind of sound like it kind of made me think of some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like I don't know, if you fail to meet the conditions of the contract, you die. It's possible. It's possible. You know, it's possible. I would never say, you know, anything's possible. You know, it's possible. But I think, you know, it's something with the Gorosei. It doesn't even have to be a Gorosei member that has that ability, though. It could be like anybody in the world government. But yeah, you know, it would make sense if it's a Gorosei, though. A Gorosei member. You know, that would make him a big problem, you know.
On Twitter by Joe Three Skulls, he brought up the idea of Lucci being a criminal after the events of Enies Lobby. He was being targeted by them, and then now he works for CP0, right? So it only fuels this idea that I've had.
Yeah, I just said
since
that
the chapter came out, that now these guys have to be some sort of indentured slaves to the Celestial Dragons, right? So the deal that may have been struck for Rob Lucci as well is, hey, we're not going to lock you up, but instead of being CP9, now you're CP0. Okay, so now you may be asking yourself, all right, Randy, but if they're slaves, why? Why would the world government enslave these CP0 guys? For the same reason that they're going after Who's Who in the first place. Leaks. They don't want any government information getting out there, all right? They want to kill Who's Who because he knows too much, and they do not have a leash on him. They do not have control of him. They don't know what he might say. They don't know what he might do. But I do believe that they have a leash on Dripper Scarfino, on Schoolboy Collins, on Maha, on
Schoolboy Collins,
Rob Lucci, Stussy, Kaku. Hell, come on. I mean, like, Spandam is in CP0, all right? This man literally caused a buster call on a government facility. Destroyed Enies Lobby with the push of a button. So, you know, when I start to think about Spandam more, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want Spandam in a prison either. I would indenture him to keep him as close as possible to us so we can never have any more mistakes with this guy. But then, I mean, I guess they could just kill him too, right? And they didn't do that. So
yeah,
maybe out of respect for Spandine, you know?
I mean, I know Spandam was kind of, he wasn't that great. Like, he was incompetent to a degree, but maybe in some ways he was good, you know, to where the world government wanted to keep him around, you know. What that was, I don't know, you know. You know, maybe it's the respect to his father, right? Spandine.
Who kind of orchestrated the O'Hara incident, so maybe he pulled some strings and was just like, hey, don't kill my son, just put him in CP0. In this particular instance, it would be incredibly intriguing for the story, and I've talked about this, if Luffy did actually get captured. The focus has shifted. There's something special about Luffy's fruit, and instead of like killing him right away, maybe Dripper wants to present Luffy to the world government. right? And we actually get this inverted Marineford. For years now, we've talked about the inversions that Oda does. And, you know, the biggest and most obvious one is that Dressrosa is Alabasta if Crocodile won. Now, that's not the only instance in the...
Bro, I'm imagining a reverse Marineford, right? Where they go to save Luffy, right? And what would be funny is if Kaido, if Kaido played the Whitebeard role, like he was the one who was going to save Luffy, right? And Sabo was kind of playing the Luffy role. So it was like Kaido and Sabo trying to save Luffy, and then maybe Black or Dragon comes in at the end like Shanks. You know, like, I mean, maybe not like Shanks, but you know, maybe he'll have a different role in this. But it'll be funny just to thinking of Kaido going to save pretty much save Luffy so he could get his rematch. like nah, bro, I want my rematch with this kid, man. I was having fun with him, so I want him free. You know, like for anybody saying, why would Kaido do something like that? You know, he won his rematch. And I ain't talking about he's going there being a hero or somebody righteous. He won his rematch. He was done dirty. So, you know. And not only that, he wants revenge on the world government. So, two things. You know, going to go get his revenge and going to go get his rematch.
The story, we've talked about it a million times. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, and even Totally Not Mark took it to another degree and made a very high-profile video going into inversions. Now, what I'd like to suggest here is that we get an inversion of Marineford, right? And this may or may not happen. I mean, the chances that it doesn't happen are higher than the chances that it will, but it is an interesting thing to talk about, right? An inversion of Marineford, right? In the same way that we had an entire saga without the crew and just Luffy. What if we got an entire saga without Luffy and just the crew, right? Luffy gets captured, gets taken to Impel Down, gets taken to Marineford.
Bro, that would be dope. That would be dope. You know, because like to have the crew have to save Luffy, yeah. Come on now. I definitely agree with that. I like that. I never even really thought of it like that, but I completely like it.
Whatever, right? And then we have to follow the crew on their journey to get him back, and then collect all of the people that Luffy has, you know, inspired over the course of this story.
Bon Clay. We getting a Bon Clay Monkey D. Luffy reunion, y'all. Come on now. If this happens, see y'all should like this theory. Y'all should like this theory because if this happens and Luffy gets caught and end up going to Impel Down. Now I would think he would probably go to the world government, not Impel Down. Like, you know, he'd go straight to Mary Joa, you know, I don't know, you know, something like that though, you know. But I would like it if he go to Impel Down. Then we get that reunion with him and Bon Clay. Maybe we'll see Doflamingo joint, like when they break in. Let's say the Straw Hats break in to Impel Down, and they go down to level 6, or yeah, it was level 6. They go down to level 6 to where Luffy's supposed to be held, but you know Luffy is gone by that time, right? Luffy is gone by that time, so they end up releasing Doflamingo, and Doflamingo. Bro, I'm telling you, the cards is there, bro. They release Doflamingo. They go help Bon Clay, free Bon Clay. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think who else would be in Impel Down right now that could probably help out or whatever. But man, potential, man. It's potential. Just saying. You know, I'm not liking where he putting down. Or I mean, I'm liking what he putting down. This is an interesting situation right here. Let's go.
Grand Fleet, the Revolutionary Army. You know, what if Sabo shows up to Wano with Vivi? you know, or the Grand Fleet or anything like that. And then Sabo becomes part of this team and all of that. And we create this massive team in the same way that Luffy created a team inside of Impel Down. An inversion of Impel Down, where now instead of Luffy doing the breakout, Luffy is Ace and is the prisoner, right? Where everybody thinks that Sabo is going to be the one that is about to get executed at Marineford and all of that. But what if it's Luffy?
Bruh.
And then it's just...
Bruh, the final, the war, right? Just imagine. All the fleet comes out. Everybody who Luffy befriended come out to help. Like, it would be a little different than Ace's, because Ace had the Whitebeard pirates. But you think about everybody that rocks with Luffy coming out to come save him. Even Kaido, like Kaido showing up like Whitebeard, coming out the water or something, or coming out the sky. Nah, he gonna come out the sky. Whitebeard came out the water. Kaido gonna come from the sky because he could fly, you know. So the ships are gonna pull up, and then we gonna see Kaido come from the sky and make his entrance to the new Marineford. Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be epicness. I'm calling it now. No, I ain't calling it now. Angel's Room said, I feel Luffy won't have a public execution or put in the same prison as other pirates. Yeah, I could kind of see what you're saying. I think he might go straight to Mary Joa, you know, because the difference is Ace was pretty much turned in to the Marines, right? He was pretty much turned in, where Luffy might be turned into world government. But you know what they could do is they could make it seem like he's being held in Impel Down, so they could trick anybody who's actually trying to find Luffy. Because they might anticipate the fact that Luffy's crew, like, there might be some big save to come save Luffy, right? So they might, the information that they might leak is something along the line is Luffy is being held at Impel Down, you know, and, you know, maybe they go to Impel Down, maybe they don't go Impel Down, maybe they just start collecting people. I like the idea of Impel Down because this gives opportunity for us to get Bon Clay back. Maybe even Doflamingo uses this as an opportunity to escape, even if he doesn't join the alliance. I'm not saying he does what Crocodile did and he joins the alliance, but he might actually use it as an opportunity to escape. Like maybe somehow there's a fight in and his cage gets damaged, you know, and I don't know, like something falls near him that he could use to pick the locks, right, to get the shackles off, and then he escaped. Like, I don't know. Angel's Room said, I believe Imu would take care of Luffy personally. Yeah, that could be. Well, that's if Luffy. The idea is Luffy probably won't get executed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably won't actually get executed. But it could be a case where Im is the one who actually wants to execute Luffy. But I don't think so, because, you know, they wouldn't want they wouldn't want the existence of Imu out, right? Because I kind of disagree on the public part. I think that they might actually try to make it public, because that's what they do. It kind of sends a message to other people, you know, don't mess with the world government. You know, that's kind of the point of execution, you know, when they make it public. And then you said, I think Imu was the one who gave the Gorosei the order to eliminate Luffy and not capture him. Imu want him dead. But if that's the case, then, you know, he wouldn't get captured. So, you know, he's just going to be assassinated or killed. So this whole idea of him getting captured from Randy would be invalid, right? But let's continue.
Just this story of all of the people that Luffy has helped coming to rescue him, right? And then maybe something gets in the way and Luffy ends up actually playing a role in all of this as well. It's an interesting what if. It's an interesting thing to talk about, and it's something that I've wanted to bring up for quite some time. Another element of all of this is what we see at the end of Dressrosa, right? The Grand Fleet. We get an Oda box that they are going to be responsible for something that is extremely important. And the implication there and everything, the way that it is done, the only other time in the story that Oda has really said, like, these people or this event will interfere with some other big event in the future is at the end of the duel at Banaro Island, right? Ace and Blackbeard clash, and then Oda has this Oda box at the end saying that, this fight is going to change the course of history. So what the Grand Fleet are going to be, responsible for, what they are going to deal with, is going to interfere with the course of history, which means that they could possibly be the ones that infiltrate Impel Down and get Luffy out, or get somebody else out, if Sabo is actually captured. If there are some members of the Shichibukai, the warlords, that have been thrown into Impel Down, what if there is this giant, raid on Impel Down by the Grand Fleet, and then that's what, gets a lot of Luffy's comrades, things like that. You get Doflamingo back into the story, you finally get Bon Clay out of there. Hancock, I fully expect to be taken straight to Mary Joa, since she is a former slave. So I don't think that she's going to be in Impel Down unless, she's going there temporarily until she gets transferred over. She was a big part of Impel Down, so it would be an interesting thing, to have that inversion. Most of all, what I like about Luffy getting captured is it gives us the opportunity to really spend a lot of time with the crew, which we haven't. We haven't spent enough time with the crew. Not in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
So focusing in on them in the same vein that Thriller Bark focused on the crew and all of that, we could really get what we need. We could get some of the crew learning hockey. We get them sort of having like a mini training arc. There's a set time frame before Luffy's executed or anything like that, and then they were really preparing. Everybody's getting ready. Zoro can, unpack himself. Maybe they go up against another threat on the way there. Obviously Weevil is on the way to find Marco. If Marco is still with them, then it could all kind of culminate into that as they're, maybe assembling more Whitebeard commanders. Let's get Vista back here, all of this. Like, there are a lot of things that could happen, and I'd love to see Zoro step up into that true vice captain role and handle the crew for a while, similar to how Sanji did in Dressrosa and Zo, right? And until Zoro is healed, Sanji could fill that role once again. Now, Sanji is the only person that is like sort of packed up right now that could play a role in this arc. So he's the only person that I could really see interfering with this, and I really want an inversion of Nothing Happened. I want that scene to play on its head. The original Nothing Happened involved Zoro and Sanji, and Brook saw it, but I mean, it was really about Zoro and Sanji. So if we get another situation where Sanji is really able to live up to the hype that he said that he would be the biggest problem for the world government, right? Like, what if, if this whole getting captured thing doesn't work, but Sanji is the one that actually stops Dripper, right? He gets back up, he saves Luffy, woo, we get to move on from here, but the real idea of everything now is we have to get off of Wano. Like, this island's coming down, the world government ships are coming on, everybody's starting to annex Wano in the world government. Momo has to leave because there is no land to be the shogun of anymore until they defeat the world government. Then he can come back, right? He becomes part of the crew. And whoever else jumps onto the ship at that time is also interim or actual members of the crew. We talked about this in 1041, that this train that was going up here was now going to start this roller coaster dive towards the end of the arc, and 1042 did not disappoint on that promise. We are on this roller coaster now. This is just going to be going down, and I think it really literally is going to be Luffy crashing through the Skull Dome, everything collapsing, and now everybody has to get off of this falling rock. But I want to hear your thoughts on all of this stuff, guys. You know, it's a very headcanon-y analysis.
And if they all have to get off, you got Momonosuke who could catch them, you know. Angel Room said, he said, but I still like the idea of him getting captured. If Luffy were captured, I think it would help happen in Elbaf. Well, I think right now is going to be the best time while Luffy's been defeated, and we got CP0 agent there, so that would probably be the best time, you know. And if we wait late, like the later we wait for another to start another rescue arc, you know, this is just gonna put more extension to the story, you know. Like if we wait to now, then that means we gotta do another arc. So, I don't know. I think now is the prime time just because of what this last chapter set up, but I don't know if Luffy's going to end up getting captured. That, you know, I don't know if Oda is going to have it to where Luffy's going to be out of the story for a extended period of time. You know, Luffy's the main character people want to see when they watch One Piece, you know. So not having Luffy around is like you don't have your centerpiece, you know. So, but I kind of like the idea. I like the idea of having an arc without Luffy, right? Kind of like we did without the other Straw Hats. But I think Oda's fair, because I think there was a time where Oda said he didn't like having like extended times without Luffy, because I think his fear is that a lot of fans would not like that. They would not like the idea of Luffy not being in the story for a long period of time. You know, that's not like just a flashback, like a few chapter flashback, you know. So I think, I don't know if Oda, like, we would probably still have to get Luffy in some light compared to like Ace. So we would still have to see what Luffy, maybe Luffy is going through thoughts and stuff. I don't know, you know, but we would have to still see Luffy. He would still have to be in the story a lot, at least. You know, he just wouldn't be the one in the adventure, I guess. You know, like, we'll get it to where every time we see him, he's locked up in the prison and he's talking to somebody, right? Like maybe he's locked in a cell with another strong individual, right? Like maybe him and Doflamingo locked in the same cell, so he learns a lot from Doflamingo, and they end up becoming cool or something. I don't know.
A lot of theories, a lot of questions, a lot of what ifs, but just fun stuff to talk about. I mean, and that's the whole point of this stuff anyway, is to just kind of throw ideas at the wall, see what sticks, and you know, see what happens here. That's going to do it, guys. I want to thank everybody that supports the channel, all the new people that joined, Arari, Nikolai Gordon, Bracamonte, and shout out to Michael.
Hey, where Desness at? Where Desness at? I see you, Desness. He done subscribe. He on the list too, man. Shout out to Desness, man. Man, I'm mad Desness is not, the day that Desness is not in the chat would be the day where I'll see him in another video, somebody else's video, right? But we got Desness.
Lacoste, Third Eye Guy, for rejoining. All right. I'm so appreciative to all the new people that have subscribed recently, because we got a big shout out from Murphy Napier, who gave her thoughts on the laws and sword theory. Video for that, of me reacting to that and talking a little more about sword, will be coming out. We'll have to get Murphy, who calls herself not a theorist, but, you know, we'll have to get her for theory, and, you know, maybe go theme for theme at some point. You know, if we can make that happen, that'd be fun. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching an analysis or a theory and you're coming from that, right, we do live reactions to the chapter every week.
All right, that's pretty much him wrapping this up. So let me make sure I give your boy Randy a like. And make sure y'all give him a like too. The link is in the description box. So y'all go like the video and think about subscribing. He makes good content. I think I did reaction streams to at least one or two of his videos. At least. You know. But yeah, so as far I personally like the idea. I like the idea of Luffy being captured. One reason why I like it because it already plays to one theory that I've been a champion of, and that is Kaido not being defeated at the end of Wano. Right? But like at least not in a one-on-one capacity, right? Like him actually either being defeated because somebody got involved, or maybe he actually just retreats because it's like my plan didn't go the way that I wanted, so I'm gonna just leave and go start my bigger plan, the real plan that I have. Like, yes, I kind of gotta cut my losses, but I want to go start my real plan, you know. So yeah, so I've always been a big champion of Kaido not being defeated by the end of Wano. You know, it still can happen. I'm not sitting here saying just because this chapter is going to change the ending of Wano. But if it does go this way, it definitely will kind of change that results. If we see Luffy get captured and taken to either Impel Down or wherever Mary Joa or something, taken to the not the Celestial Dragons, but the Gorosei, you know, it would change things up, and it will also kind of give Kaido that bye, right? Like to not be defeated. And then it also gives Luffy plenty of time to go through enough stuff to still progress in his strength. And then we could get that rematch with him and Kaido, maybe at this war, this big major war that we're pretty much promised, right? And maybe at this point, Luffy would actually definitively defeat Kaido one-on-one. It doesn't have to be a huge arc like another Wano arc. No, I'm not saying that. It could be a couple chapters, right? A couple, like a significant amount of chapters that we get of this fight whenever it happens, and then that's all it has to be. It could be within a different arc. It could be an Elbaf. It could be at the war. It could be a mini arc. I don't know. I don't know. But it leaves that, and then he could definitively beat Kaido, and he would definitively be a Yonko level. He's right there. Like Luffy's already right there. Strength wise, he's at the door. Like I don't think he was gonna beat Kaido one-on-one. Like it was kind of looking like it could have happened though. Like let's not say that. I'm not. It looked like Oda was kind of leading into that, but. Based off of last chapter, Luffy himself said, "Look, I have to make this next attack count because it's all I have left, right? If I fail in this last attack, Kaido is going to win." Luffy himself said that. We don't hear that often from Luffy. Him sitting here saying, "Look, I'm gonna lose if I don't succeed in this next attack." But he did it. He said it. Right? And I already said before, Kaido didn't look like he was on his last legs. Kaido looked like at that point, he looked like Kaido was just having fun. Like he was just happy that he was getting an exciting fight like this, right? But yeah, so yeah, I don't think Kaido was going to lose to that next attack, whatever Luffy was planning, even if he succeeded. So yeah, based on Luffy, he would have lost if he didn't put Kaido down and that guy didn't interfere. The CP0 agent, right? Scarfino. That's what we're gonna call him, Scarfino. Angel's Room said, doesn't Blackbeard have spies in the Beast Pirates? He probably doesn't. I'm glad you said that because that also plays into another theory that I have, right? Now, if all else fails, right, maybe we get a rematch between Kaido and Luffy. And maybe Luffy keeps up, and maybe even then Kaido still look like he could potentially win. And that's when Blackbeard could show up and take Kaido's devil fruit. You know, pretty much do what he did to Whitebeard. We talking inversions, right? This time, or we talking like mirroring from pre-time skip. This time, instead of Blackbeard killing and taking Whitebeard's fruit, he does that to Kaido in mid-fight of him and Luffy, right? Blackbeard becomes more powerful. Luffy has to become even more powerful. You know, just when he was at a point where he could have beat Kaido, now he got to worry about Blackbeard, who now has Kaido's devil fruit, as well as Whitebeard and the Yami Yami no Mi, right? So yeah, but anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P. the Bluff Guy. Hey! And yeah, good theory, good video. I really liked Randy's video. It had me laughing in some parts. It was I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Tomorrow I will probably be looking at Evil, YouTube content creator. He has a video. He has an interesting video that I said I'm gonna probably react to. I told him I'm gonna react to, so we probably gonna do that tomorrow or Wednesday, because I might take a break tomorrow. You know, I usually, I don't know. I don't know if Angel's Room said, what if Blackbeard captures Luffy instead of the world government? That could be pretty interesting too. That could be pretty interesting. He said, see ya. Yeah, man. Hey, man, you have a good night, man. Shout out to Angel's Room, man. Appreciate you stopping through. But yeah, so I will probably be doing a video tomorrow as well. Yeah. And then I might take a break on Wednesday. So yeah, that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow unless something comes up. You know, if something comes up, then I won't do a video. But you know, then I'm gonna, you know, I'll have, you know, I won't stream Wednesday, but I'm gonna stream tomorrow for you guys. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already, and also hit that bell for notifications and hit and subscribe if you haven't. The video we just react to will be linked in the description box, so make sure y'all go check out Randy Troy. Check out his channel. Go like the video as well. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on my Facebook page, so you could be updated on what I'm doing, if I'm gonna be streaming that day or not. As well as if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord and the One Piece Facebook group. All of these will be in the description box, link below. So yeah, I feel like there was something I wanted to say that just I can't remember. But yeah, yeah. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Y'all have a good evening. Oh yeah, and yeah, I know what I wanted to do. Shout out to Angel's Room. Shout out to Cube. Shout out Shane Burns. And yeah, I think that was it for today. So shout out to you guys. I really appreciate y'all stopping through. Appreciate anybody else who came through the stream. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of the video. Anyway, I'm out of here.